Hey everyone, Kevin here, educator at Zenler. Hopefully I'm here. Hopefully I'm live. Welcome to the Community Connection Workshop. Session number, David, are you here?
I'm
Session
here.
number, session number, no,
Oh,
11.
I
Hey,
thought you were going to put 10 up.
we're on session number 11. So one more session to go after today. And then the Community Connection Workshop is over. We're done. But we're not done just yet because we're on advanced tricks in the community today. So let me remind you before I hand over to David, who's going to be running today's session. And this will just give you a little bit of time to settle in. Do let us know that you are here on Facebook. So just type in your name, where you're from, what country. Let's do the country bit. We love doing that. And if you're in the US, because obviously you could be in a state as well, so do that. And if you're in Canada, put your state. And if you're in England, put what county. I'll just put where you are. This is getting complicated. Put in where you are. That would be awesome. And let's come back to that in a sec. But for now, I just want to share exactly where we are, what we're looking at. Um, where we've been, because we've done so much in this. I was talking to David a minute ago about this workshop in particular and what we've done, and we've covered so much. If you cannot run an effective community when these sessions are finished, then I don't know how you're going to manage, because we've gone into so much detail in every single aspect of running a community. The tools you have to hand and the training you've got available to you now, you should smash it out the park. So just as a quick reminder for those of you that maybe not have not yet come in and watched any of these, you can still get in on the replays, right? And this is really important. Don't think because the live bit is coming to an end over the next few days that there's no value in this. There's huge value in this workshop. Going back, watching it, watch it at your own pace. You might want to watch it on 3 times. You might want to watch it on normal speed, whatever you want, whatever session that you want. There's a lot there that's going to be really, really helpful for you. So we've covered the introduction to communities, so the concepts of a community, what does it mean, and what is a community, how are you going to look at creating a community for you as a course creator, how it's going to benefit your students coming in, and are we going to use it to generate leads to make more money, or what are we going to do? So the concept and the idea behind a community. We then looked at planning out our community, giving it some structure behind what that looks like, putting in some actionable steps to maybe understand and then start to put together the idea of what our community will be. We then looked deeply into the actual platform itself. What the community feature in Zenler is new. It got released the end of 2024, but we've had some big updates going there in the last few months as well. And we're not done yet. There's still more coming. So we had a really deep look into the community feature and how it operates within the platform. 3 minutes, I think, is the quickest you can get a community up and running, maybe even quicker. But it's really, really easy to use. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't have that superpower behind it, which it does. We then did sessions 4, 5, and 6, looking at the 3 different type of communities you can build and run and manage. And that's a public community where it can be found in the search engines and all of that. Private communities where it's hidden behind a bit more of a locked wall. And then super secret communities where nobody will ever find it in the world unless you actually say, here it is. And we looked at all of the different ways that you may wish to use each one of those for your business and how you may want to use it for different purposes. So really interesting, those sessions. We then went on to community leadership and community engagement. So over those 2 sessions, we looked at what being a community leader is and deciding on what type of leader you want to be. And if you're doing it with multiple admins coming in at some point or other people getting involved in the team, how you want them to be as well. Because if everyone was a close view as a leader, would it go down very well in your community? Probably not. Engagement, we need to keep people going. We need to keep them interacting, coming back, wanting to come back, feeling good, laughing, enjoying, learning, all of those things. So community engagement was what we called in session number 8. Last Friday, we looked at making money through your community. And what does that look like? How can we entice people to use a community and either get involved in a paid for community or use that community to generate leads coming in so we can make really good offers to people when it's appropriate for them to get more involved in what you do. We then looked at growing your community. That was the last session. So really focusing on the public community, some of the SEO elements you need to understand, some of the content that you need to put together to get it out there, and then how you've got to eat, sleep, breathe, and everything else about your community. If you really truly want it to be the powerhouse that it can be, you've got to be talking about it everywhere. So that was live session number 10. And then we've got live session number 11. That's it, near enough. Advanced features in Zenler. So this is with David today. He's going to be leading the charge on this. We're going to look at what can we do that doesn't have a button built into it in the community area to get you doing certain different things. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there's things in here that you can do that are quite simple, but have a lot of power. Really mix it up a little bit in your community. Some of them will be workarounds until we get a direct feature in the community area, and we're going to go through those today. So get your questions ready. Your questions should be, how can I do this in my community? That's going to be the question prompt for today, if you like, and we'll hopefully try and answer it either in the training or in the Q&A bit. And then on Friday, we're wrapping everything up, and we're going to be doing a live Q&A session with the team. So we're going to go back over some of the stuff that we've done, very sort of brief overview, a little bit of a discussion point, and then we're going to get straight into the Q&A where you can ask us anything to do with communities. So whether that's building, operating, if you've got scenarios going on or you've got questions, you're nervous about how to deal with certain things, anything that could be holding you back from actually creating a thriving community, we want to hear about it and get into the bones of it on Friday. So the whole team will be about. So bring your questions there for all of us. But today, as I said, we're on session number 11. David's leading this one. I'm going to be looking after you in the chat. So look out for that. So I want lots of comments today. I want to keep David really busy reading the chat. And I want, see, Dave, right, here it is. Now listen to me. Now, David's been telling me in the last session, we had 138 comments in the chat. So as I'm leading the chat today, and I have a slight competitive streak, I want to be hitting the 175 comments in here, possibly the 200 comments, right? So I want you in here commenting all of the time, replying to everything I ask and getting involved as much as you can. So we can turn around under my watch and go, we did 200 comments on that live. Now that's going to be awesome, right? I might even give myself a little sticker for it as well. I'll see how it goes. But this is our goal for today. Lots of interaction, lots of questions, specifically in Facebook. So you have 51 minutes from now to get that in there. So start off, name, location, state. You can put one each as a comment if you want. You don't have to have them all in one comment. You can do 3 comments. This is my name. This is my state. This is my country. So that's 3 comments already each. I'm getting involved. David, over to you. See you in a minute.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, Scott, you're right. Yeah, most of the comments were from me. So, this is why sometimes it's really important when you're running a session, it's hard to do everything. And if you want to drive engagement, if you've got a co-host, as we've got Kevin today, then it makes life easier because lots of questions can be asked and engagement can be driven. So this is why we ask you questions. You're going to notice that when I put them in, I'm usually asking you a question. Some of you don't reply to them, but that doesn't deter me. I carry on asking questions all the way through it because later on people can reply to that and give their comments. But we like active, we like active activity. So guys, what we are on 11, a number 11 session of 12. Okay. So this is where we connect the dots. This is where we start to look at, this is where I give you a lot of templates for starters, guys. So this is where we connect the dots and we start to make things work because we've talked about so many things to do with community and how you can drive engagement. We've given you loads and loads of idea sheets on post types to use. You can use these, but that's not all, is it? because we don't just want our community to be really engaged. We also want to make it look good as well. We want to make it look exciting, because if something's exciting, it's going to draw people to actually post, okay, and reply to things. So, one of the golden rules is a question, or to actually chime with people or ask people's opinions. That's why you're going to get engagement and feedback. If you just if you just put in a post about what you've done with nothing to feedback, people go, good job, I like it, that's really good, but they have no way to interact with you. And I guess what we've tried to do with the community workshop is to try and give you ideas so that you engage with your audience. Okay. And also, last minute, because Kevin, right? Kevin, you he introduced a question that I was quite interested in, and I've been thinking about how we can filter our users, how we can actually know if our users have come in through the registration and not actually part of any course, or that haven't bought from you. So with this in mind, I did a workaround. Now, I'm not sure how long this workaround is needed for, because I'm sure Zenler will introduce maybe a different role type or a way of filtering members within communities, which it doesn't do at the moment. So I've done a big kind of hack around to do this. And out of this hack, there is many possibilities, as you will see as we work our way through. So I'm going to begin the presentation now, and you will see what I'm doing. So good to see you, Angela, Ellie. We got Scott in the house, and we've got Jackie as well in here at the moment. So really good to see you guys turned up. I'm really excited about this workshop. So we're going to begin now. So, advanced tips for your community. So, unlock the full potential of a Zenler community in this power-packed live session. Discover advanced features like clickable course links, podcasts, integrations, animated posts, how we can use live chat for VIP sessions, and more. Okay, and I didn't even put in there the filtering part at the beginning. So, this is what we're doing for advanced tips for your community today. So guys, let's ask you a question. Are you ready to advance? Put it in the chat. Are you ready to advance? Give us a yes. A big yes. So we are about 10 seconds behind. Yes. Yeah, remember, Kevin, we're 10 seconds behind, so you might have to put the question in there. It's still going to be quicker. Okay. Kevin's ready and Scott's ready. Right. Mickey's ready as well. Good to see you. Mickey Elizabeth. Okay. Ellie Angela. Fabulous. All right, guys. So let's do this then. Let's go in and let's look at what we're going to look at today. So what we're going to look at today is we're going to create a new site registration, filtering community members. Okay, now this is quite a long part of this. The runtime on this is about 20 minutes. You probably are not going to get it whilst I'm showing you the video. You're probably going to have to watch on replay, because it covers a lot of aspects, but it is very clear. I've tried to go as slow as possible with it, and you'll understand the principle as we work our way through, and you'll understand why as well when we run through that. So we're going to talk about adding your own fun custom GIF. So inside your communities, you can click the little GIF button, and you can then add a little funny dog or someone with love hearts and these kind of things. Well, I'm going to show you how you can create your own custom GIF. Okay. Now, when I did this, I asked a question of the developers: where is it grabbing the GIFs from? So the comeback to that from Rakesh was Giphy, and I thought it was Giphy. So I thought, oh, okay, well, if I create a custom GIF and I put it in the Giphy library as an account, I'll be able to find it, but I couldn't. But I'm not saying that you can't find it. Maybe my account is not letting it on as published yet or something like that. But this is a workaround to do that, and you can still use Giphy to do that. So it's going to be really interesting for you guys to see that. I'm going to be giving you a Canva template to work with to create your animation, and then you can put that into Giphy and you can create these GIFs. And we're going to get for homework, we're going to get you to do it as well. And what's good about it is with your own custom GIF, you can have your face in there. You could have wow, love hearts come up. You could have your logo in there, your company logo in there. Saying well done. So you can do a set of these GIFs if you want that you could use in your community. So really, really cool. I love that. It's a simple thing, but it's a really personal touch. Okay. So next we've got a simple campaign. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple campaign that runs through, and we're basically going to collect data from a survey. Okay, now this runs off the back of what we do in the first part when we create our filtering system. Okay, and you'll see why when we do that. So it's going to be a mini campaign. It's going to be one post. Want to receive more information? They go to it, they fill a survey out, and you can capture that information. And of course, that is fed by the community. So what we're trying to do here with the community is make it so that for some of you guys might want to run a whole courses or warm people up to come into more VIP experiences. So that's what we're aiming for today. So it's a whole simple campaign. And using the basis of this campaign, you could use it with all the promotions and the courses that you want in the future. So you just need to think how we're doing it and maybe extend on it. So we don't need to show you every single example. So one thing I want to talk to you about also is master the perfect post size to get max engagement, right? Okay, we're going to look at that. We're going to add clickable links to promote courses, funnels, surveys, and even direct to lessons. Okay. So we're going to show you how to animate your posts for scroll stopping impact. All right. So we're going to show you another big part of this is stream with Zoom or YouTube right into your space. Okay. So we're going to be using Zoom. We're going to be going into YouTube, and then we're going to be sending that into your community. Okay. And we base test it in live chat as well. Okay. In that part. So that's really important. So embed and promote your podcasts directly into a community. Okay. So podcasts as well. And again, I've got a template and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it all in Canva. So you can create this nice podcast that you can then use on other channels. And of course, you can promote inside of your community. So say, for instance, if you did a monthly or a weekly podcast telling people about what you've been up to or what courses you brought out, what new things have happened, could be a really good way to get people to lock in there for the podcast part. And then we're going to look at using live chat for VIP coaching, real-time connection. So I've got a test account set up so I can show you both at the same time. Finally, just before we go to the Q&A, we're also going to have a look at the new features that have dropped in as well. Okay, so we're going to have a look at those, and we can do that in the environment we're in. Plus, we're going to have a Q&A part at the end. Of course, we've got a massive Q&A session on Friday, and we've got quite a lot to cover here. So we are now going to move on. Are you guys excited about all of that content? Or not? Carnivore digestives. Yes, Angela, that's Kevin. He buys his carnivore digestives. That's an ongoing joke. Right. Are you happy? Are you excited? You are. Good. You caught up. Brilliant. All right. Fabulous. Okay, let's continue then. Let's go on to the first part now, and we'll have a look at what we're doing next. So we are now looking at filter for community members. So this is a really big part, okay, of today's thing. And like I said, it's been inspired. I've been thinking about it, and I've actually harped on about this to Rakesh and driven him slightly mad on on the way filtering works for community, right? Because it's a really big thing to me. So it was important that I found a way through and around this. And then Kevin was mentioning the other day on Live 10 about like, how do you do this? And I already had it in my head, but I wasn't going to put it as part of this workshop. And then I thought, do you know what? It's really important. So I thought I'd include it just for you guys. Okay, so we're going to jump in now. This is pre-recorded. The reason it's pre-recorded is because I have to run Zoom. All right, I have to run a lot of things. It's quite complex, so I had to make sure that everything was right in post edit. Okay, so filtering for communities is coming up now. So watch this, guys, and I'll be back with you, and then we'll carry on through the curriculum. Okay. Okay, so what is this lesson all about? This is about filtering for community members. So at the moment, what the system does, and this will change because I know Zenler are talking about adding a way to be able to filter out free community members or community members in there. Now, at the very beginning, I was saying to the dev team that I think there should be a role of community for people that are not part of a course. Currently, though, they are in there as the role of student. Okay, so this can cause problems because as a student, they get mixed with the student. So you automatically see a student and you think that they've purchased a course because after all, they're a student. They're not just a registered user. So that can cause problems when you try and filter, because at the moment we'd have to filter on all of the courses to get rid of the people that are not part of any course. So as Kevin brought up in session 10, how do we do this? How do we filter these community members out? So what I've done is with Zenler, Zenler's amazing because you can do these things even before new features come in. You have got the ability to just make things work in Zenler the way you want to. So my fix on this, and this is why this is quite an important one that wasn't originally going to be added to this workshop series, is how to tag users coming in that have joined a community. And that's what it's about. So what is the fundamental thing that is causing this problem? So do you guys know what the fundamental thing is that's causing this problem? So if you Okay, guys, so I want you to tell me in the chat if you know why. Okay, so before we continue, just put that in the chat. So there's going to be questions come up and I want you to put in the chat what they are, you know, if you know the answer to it, and what is that main question. And now we'll move on. You are putting in the chat now registration page. You would be dead right, because through the registration page, which they have to register through when they join any of the communities, they become a role of student, and that is our problem. Okay, so how do we avoid that? What we can do is, if we think logically, we can get rid of the registration page, but then that presents a problem, because if you get rid of the registration page, how are people going to register for your site? How are they going to register for the community? So think about it this way. What about if we know that when people buy a course, they have to go through the registration process? And we know that. So think about it this way. If we used a course registration, in other words, get them to buy a free course, we would have all of the benefits of a course. We would be able to tag. We would be able to send automations. We would also be able to then add extra content inside of that course for everybody. So by bypassing the registration page, we're opening ourselves up to the opportunity of doing a lot more inside Zenler. And as I said right at the beginning, that's why I love Zenler. It's so powerful. There's so many different workarounds. So that's what we're going to do. So that is what we're trying to do, and that's the issue behind it. So I'm going to jump to my screen share now, and what you're going to see is you're going to see this course page here. So I'm going to jump back to the beginning, and I'm just going to show you what I've done. So the first place we need to talk about is the courses, because from that everything else will build upon. So we have this course here. I'm just going to refresh this page because I've changed that image inside here. And you're going to notice that this course is secret. It's got the little eye icon, but it's published. Okay, now this is the course that we're going to use as a registration form. All right, that's all we're doing really. So we just need to make it work. So if we click inside here and we go to our course details, you're going to see inside here that we have the course is secret. Okay, so you know that's registration for the site. So it's not really a course, but it could be. And you're going to see what we're going to do later with this. So if we jump into the curriculum, there doesn't need to be anything in the curriculum because we're not using it. We're purely using the course as a way to sign people up to become the role of student, but then to be able to tag them. So I have got a section and a survey set up in here, but this is purely for later. So by doing this, what would be the knock-on effect? Do you guys know what the knock-on effect would be from doing this? Okay. So put that in the chat. Okay. So we'll have a look at it in a minute, but that's what I want you to put in the chat. What's the knock-on effects? So I'll tell you what the knock-on effects are. The knock-on effects means that everybody who registers on your site through the registration page will have access to this course. And it is a course, but we're using it as a registration page. Now that's really interesting because that means if someone logs in and they've logged in through here, they will have access to this course, which means that you can then send them to any of the lessons and you don't have to worry if they're part of that course or not because they've signed up through the course. All right. So hopefully that's clear. So there's a few things, little caveats here. It will go in there, my courses. It will say registration from site. It will say that in there. So you might want to rename that or make that generic so that it's easier. So you could put in here community or jump into the community, but this is the principle. This is how it works. So that's one thing. Let's now, before I jump to the pages, I'm going to jump to the pricing because I want to show you the pricing. Pricing is just free. We'll just have a look at it. Just edit it here. It says free. Sign up for free. Join our public community. That's all it says. I've got no drip turned on. I've got automation. So I'm going to jump to automations. Really important. If you look in the automations, inside here, we have a tag, public community. So if people are coming through and they're joining our community through the registration page, they're going to be marked as public community. So that is my separator on anyone registering, not going through a course. They're going to be marked as public community. So sometimes they might not have joined the community, but this is how it works. You know, you can ask them to join the community. If they come through here, they're going to be part of this course, and then they're going to apply to join that community in any way. So next we can use automations in here now. So someone signs up and you can send them an email and you can send them a jump link straight to that community as well. So in this case, a public community. So we can set up automations. We've started the tagging process, right? So let's look at the pages now and see how they're set up. Then we'll take it to its final step in a second. So if we jump into, I'm going to copy this page here. And I'm going to go into incognito so we can see it as a true student, not logged in. Okay, so this is our sales page. Now, the sales page is not a place we'll be sending people to because we just want to use the registration. We don't want 2 clicks. So in here, I've got a button that just goes straight through to the registration for this. And this is going to be the main registration for the site from this point on. And remember, you tag them and sent them an email. So then your user can sign up through here and enroll for this course. Okay, but it's not a course, it's registering for the site. Okay, that's the difference. So I'm calling it course because it's in the course section. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause the video while I put a name, first name and an email, and then you can see what's going to happen here. So you can look at it after the fact. Okay, so I've got email address in there and I've had my name and I'm going to click enroll for free. Okay, so this is what this is going to do. It's enrolled me in the course. Now, it's enrolled me in the course, but it hasn't let me finish the registration process. But notice that on the course access page, and let me show you. So I've gone through the checkout process. I've gone to the thank you page. Okay. So I'm on that thank you page ready to go through. So let's just view it. There, go to the public community. This is the page I'm on, the thank you page, right? It's important you see every step as I go through it. So if I click this now, it's going to ask me to fill out the rest of my details. Tracy, she's always watching these lives, so she'll love this. Okay, and I'm going to put a password inside here. Let me just pause the video. Okay, now that's done. I'm going to click submit. And now it's going to submit me, and this is going to then send me, or allow me to go on. So if I click through now, I'm going to actually appear on the course access page here. Well, I'm actually going to appear on the community, and you're going to see why that's happened in a second. So why did it take us straight to the community? Well, the key is the last page. So let me be really clear. We kind of are going to bypass the sales page. The only page we're going to see when we register is going to be the checkout page. So this is so important that you understand. So this is the checkout page. We fill out the details as a new user, click enroll. That takes us to the thank you page. Okay, let's just view that. The thank you page is the place that you can finish off the registration. So when you click go to community, a pop-up comes up and you fill it in. Now, after you've done that and then you've clicked this, you're then able to go through to the last page, which is the course access page. Okay, and that course access page is here. So let's have a look at this. First of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview it. And what you're going to see is when I preview this page, now it's not going into the community page yet because I've done something different. I've allowed, when it hit that last registration, it pushed straight through. But if someone now has in my courses, they go to this page, they go to the course, they're going to see this button. So when they click it, they're going to go straight to the community that you want them to, which is what you want to achieve. So let's have a look at these pages. Let's have a look at the thank you page and see what I've done here, just so we can break it down. So this is the thank you page. Okay, so inside here, let's have a look at this. We click that settings button there. And inside here, you're going to see that this goes to the community. Okay, so I could well just divert them straight to the course access page, but I've linked them straight to the community. So how can we get that community link? Well, guys, it's really easy. So I'm just going to right hand click. So you need to select the community that you want. So I'm going to go into my community. I'm going to go, that's the public one. That's my URL. So that's the URL that I will grab and I will put in there. And if you look at that, it's exactly the same URL. So by putting that in there and clicking save, I've now initiated this thing. So when they come on the thank you page, they click this, but before they can go off to that URL, the pop-up comes up and it freezes everything. So until they fill their registration in, it won't action it. And when you close it, it then actions the button and it takes you straight to the registration because you click the button and it goes straight through to the registration. Now, if we, as a fallback for this, if someone lands on the course access page, let's have a look at that. Remember, the course access page is where you would normally put all your curriculum and all of this stuff. All of that's been deleted out, and we practically use the same block throughout the whole site. I changed the background on here, which I think I'll do, just to get rid of it out of here, and I'll just change it to a color background there. But now it's pretty much the same as every other page, except this button on the course access page. This is when they bought. So when someone bought, this is the page that is sealed off. So if they go into this, they've got another button just in case as a fallback that also goes to the community. Okay. But this is part of a course. They've enrolled in a course, so we can still use the curriculum if we wanted to. Later, we could drop the curriculum block straight in here if we wanted to. So now let's get to the crux. We've got this all working. We need to check that it's saving people as the role of community. So I'm going to come back to the course and I'm going to click students and we're looking for community. And there we go. everybody that's coming to, these are test students, by the way, that's coming in, including Tracy that we just set up now, is labeled as public community. So what does that mean? That means that in any email broadcast that I send out, I can now filter them. So I'm just going to do another test in here and click create, because I just want to show you what's going on. I can do contact list, and then I could go advanced filters, and then I could go into here, add filter, and tag. Let's go tag does contain. So now I can select my tag public community, and this mail will only go to our community members. And vice versa, if I change this to tag does not contain, and then I select this, I've now filtered my community members, because remember, from this point on, community members are coming through that course and they're tagged with public community. Okay. So what final thing we've got to do, we know it's all working. We tested it as a student. The final thing we need to do is now go to our site pages. So before I do that, I'm going to go to my course page. I'm going to go to my pages, and I'm going to be sending them from the default registration page to this checkout page to send the process of registration through the checkout page. So I'm going to copy that URL, okay? The checkout page URL, that's that page. I don't want to send them to the course sales page because it's an extra click to go through to this page. So I just select this page here. So now I'm going to go to my site and site pages, and you're going to find your registration page. It's normally labeled register there. And I'm going to go in and edit it, and you're going to see what I've done. So I'm going to go in and edit this page. And inside here, what you're going to get is some default page, and you're going to see this white block down the bottom. This white block is a redirect. So whereas normally you would have your registration block inside here, let me just go to the sign up blocks down here. This is probably what you've got, something like that in there, something like that for the standard registration. Delete it out. Delete that block out, because we don't want them going through the standard registration, because if we do, what's going to happen is they're going to have the role of student, and they're not going to be tagged, and it's going to cause the problem that we've got. So inside here now, I've set a countdown timer, and I'll prove it to you, because if you come into here and I change the style of this to black, you're going to see that's a countdown timer. What happens on that countdown timer? Days, hours, minutes, seconds, 0. Timer evergreen, redirected to URL. That URL is the buy now page. So it's that page that we copied a second ago into there. So if I just show you that URL, go into incognito, paste that in there, bang, it's going to be here. So what's going to happen is, because this is all set on 0, when someone hits this registration page, they're going to be redirected straight away to the course checkout page to complete their registration. And that is it in a nutshell. So I make all of these white in here, and that way you can't see the block. So let's test what happens when we hit the registration page and then do a final test. So I've got this. I'm going to preview. It's going to be very quick. So when I click this, this page is going to load, and then the countdown timer is going to take me straight to the checkout page. Let's click in there. Bang, we're straight in the registration. So really, really quick, like boom, straight in there. And you'll notice in here, I've put register for this site. I'm going to put, I can put in here, redirect to registration. That's what I've done. So I've bypassed the public registration page. So let's check now that this works for a normal community. So if someone finds our community or they go to log in, they're going to go through this process. So everywhere that they go in, they're going to have this process. So if we go to our community, I'm going to select this end part, and I'm going to come into incognito, and then it's all going to make sense. So if I click in here, we are now not signed in. We're viewing our community as our community is there. And if I click in here, you're going to see login, join. Let's go to sign in. You're going to notice in here, You need to log in to be able, and it's redirecting me. And it's redirecting me to a login page. This is the login, but I haven't got a login. I haven't got an account, right? If I've got a login, I can just log in, but I need to sign up. So if I go sign up, it's going to take me to this page, which is what we want. So let's go back to here again. And if someone wanted to join this, they would click in there, join. And where's this going to take us? Again, it went to the registration page, but then the countdown timer took us straight to this page. Now we have sealed the system off. You can only register for this site by going to that. So if someone tries to use the normal sign in, if they've got an account and they bought the course, they can put their email and password and they can get straight in, no problem. But if they haven't and they want to get access to the site and probably the community, you can click sign up and it's going to do this redirection. So they've got to go through this course where you can then fire the automations, you can tag them, and it's all set for you. So how cool is that? So that's how you can bypass. I know it's quite long-winded, but that's the way. Hopefully Zenler will bring in the ability to be able to filter or to change the role type of people not in courses coming in as community instead of students. But until that point, this can be done. Okay. And I've proved it here today. So there might be some questions. Look, guys, take your time, go back over this video and it'll all be clear to you. But that is how you can set up the registration to filter out your community members inside there. Now, there is a little bit of a caveat here. If you were trying to give a completely different tag to something like the private or the secret, then you might consider people joining up for a course and then they're added to that community from that course, and that way you could tag them and filter them that way. But this is for public. This is generally to know the people in your community, which was the question asked. So we can filter, we just have to work out how the system works. That's it, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. So guys, you saw how it all come together at the end there. So what you need to remember, there's a few questions gone in, and you need to remember that we're talking about public registration to your site. Okay, so public registration has always been like a real bugbear for me, because I believe that the role of student should be for people that have bought into your course. However, at the moment at Zenler, if you actually sign in just as a registered user, you become a student role, and it's hard to filter. And with the addition of community makes it a kind of hybrid place now, where you can have people that are in courses in a public community, but you can also have people that are not part of any of your courses. They've just registered and signed up for the community. So this was a way of being able to split them out, but with added advantages, because the advantage being is that if your registration page comes through a course, which is basically what we did, we turned the registration page into a course, then it means that people have to fulfill all their details out. But it also means that every registered user, no matter where they've come from, so even if they're leads, they're going to go through that registration process. They're going to go through, and that means that you can then tag them, but more importantly, they're part of that area, that free area that you can tap into, as we're going to find out later, with the benefit of being able to send out automations to those people and of course segment them via tags when they come in. Now, if someone comes in and they just want to buy a course, they're not going to be tagged with anything because they've bought a course, and that course is separate to the other course. So they're going to come through and they're going to buy your course, and they're going to be part of that course. And they're not going to have the tag public community, okay, because they're not part of that. Once they're logged in, they can access the public community in any case. So you've created a filterable way of separating those people out. Now, as Kevin's already mentioned, it is on the plan to make community roles or to set it up so that you can segment in some ways. And as far as I'm concerned, that could not come fast enough. But I'm here as an educator to show you how you can do this stuff. And that's why I've done it. Okay, there's been lots of things that I've done in the past where I've done workarounds, and other members have as well, that suddenly an update comes in where you don't need to do that anymore. Okay, so this is just one of those things that we do. We pass this information to you. We, the education team, try and work outside the box, and we try and work into what problems that you might face later on when you're starting a community. And as we know, the CEO Rakesh really wants everybody to start using communities because it's the future. So if I can make this possible later on, like imagine you had 1,000 people in your communities already, you were really well set up and you couldn't filter out who was who, and you got 1,000 people in there. So you need to be doing this stuff now before that feature drops in there, because otherwise you can't use it effectively, and you might not even use it at all if there's no way to filter out the communities. So from my point of view, this was massively important, spurred on by what Kevin was saying in session 10. So I hope you've got a lot of good stuff from that. Did you enjoy it, guys? Do you kind of understand what I'm saying here with all this stuff? Let us know and we will continue through to the next bit. It's not so heavy, the next bit, guys. We're gonna have a bit of fun. Yeah, so Scott's put rolls across the system would be nice eventually. So Pauline's going to catch up with it and hopefully she'll eventually understand. Scott's so are the people in the course added to the public community? Yeah, because like if they're in any of the courses, it is a public community and they've logged in, they've created an account, so they can go straight into that public community because it's a public community. Okay, so they can go in there anyway. They can't jump into the private or the secret. I know, Angela, you were mentioning about that. You could do the same thing. That this is not the same thing because this is outside of that, because you're creating this course for registration sign up on the registration page of the site. It's not in one place. It's not just a standalone course. It's in the registration page. It redirects to that page. So with a secret or a private membership, you can include that directly into the pricing plan. You don't need to do anything. You can just put a link on the course access page to that private community because they will already be in there because they would have bought it through that pricing plan. Okay, so your pricing plan could be twofold. It could be VIP access, you get access to the private community. On the first price, it could be just get access to the lessons, and you charge slightly higher and they get access to the lessons and the private community, but that can all be built in on the pricing level. It's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is we're addressing people coming in from who knows where and how we can filter them out. Okay, so Angela also put, yeah, but I like to turn member approval on because you know, I want to, there could be a lot of people coming in here. This is going into public community. Okay, so you can turn member approval on. You can. You'll need to make sure that you are checking regularly to approve those members coming in. Okay, but this is public. This is for promotion. Okay, so if you're keeping stuff that you want secret, you're going to put that in a secret or private community or a discussion community. Okay, this is public. We're trying to get people into your site to generate new leads. You're trying to warm them up to buy your courses. So that's what we're trying to do here. That's the end goal. So I think Kevin's answering lots of stuff in there. I'm going to move on with this now. We're going to just move to the next part. So let's go. So what we're going to look at now is going to be custom GIF. So I mentioned to you before, custom GIFs are really cool. I've got some pre-recorded content for you again. It's using Giphy. This is going to be part of the homework as well. So we're going to want you to produce your own custom GIF. Guys, this is going to be legendary for you. You can set up a whole little GIF pack of like, wow, good job, could do better, you know, these sort of things. And you can set these GIFs up and you can just post them in when people have written stuff. So Very cool. We're going to have these posts inside of the tutorials public community, and you can put your own ones in there. You're going to see that there's going to be homeworks dropped in there straight after this is finished, plus the replay. Plus, I'm going to give out all the links as well when we get to the Q&A part for all of this stuff, because I have a custom Canva template for the custom GIF. Okay, so you can use that, and that's what we'll be showing now. So I'm going to jump into the creating a GIF. It's not a long one, guys, so enjoy this one. GIF or GIF. I call them GIFs, right? That's just what I do, but I think they're GIFs. But GIF, right? Because it's like a gift, isn't it? With a T on the end, but it's just not GIF. All right, so I've always called them that. Right, let's do this. Okay, guys, let's look at how we can create an animated GIF. So you can see that you can pull in GIFs files onto your community, and they're kind of like funny and they add a bit of life. But what about actually creating your own? So we're going to look at that now. It's really easy, guys. I've yet to find a way that I can hook straight into the GIF library, but we can easily download and put it on there. So what we need to do first of all is create a kind of GIF. So all you need is, you can just create this in Canva, or you can create little shots of yourself and put yourself in different positions, and then you can create a GIF from that. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so these are just single shots that are in different movements, and then you create this GIF from it. Okay, so you can be as elaborate as you want with this. You can have fun with it. I'm going to use the Zenler logo as well. I'm going to put that in there as well, so we get some sort of animation. Now the thing is, you've got to remember, animated GIFs are very small, so we need it very, very tight in kind of thing, you know. So that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so I'm on Canva now, and I'm going to give you a template. This is a little Giphy compose template that I've created. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this as the base to create a GIF file, okay? So really simple, it's just square, basically, okay? So I'm going to create a new little animation here. I'm just going to take this and delete it out. And I think I'll take the logo, make the logo quite big there. So you can put your own logo design in there. And then I'm going to grab some files from our file pack, okay? And I can just grab some of these and do something cool with this. So I'll just take this one here, like this, and then I might animate this to do something. And you could do this in 2 shots if you wanted to. So I'm going to just add a little bit of animation into here. So that looks not bad. This is a little pop. Okay, I'll do that one, and I'll probably take the background one and do something with that as well. So maybe that's a page image I want an effect. Well, that might be quite good. So it's, you know, you can do what you like. Okay, I'm going to choose pop. Okay, so you can create a little animation here. You can take a few little images and put them all together. It's really up to you, but I'm going to take this one as it is, and I'm just going to go to share and download, and I'm just going to download number 2, not number 1. Okay, so I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to say nope, I just want this second one animated to go out. We're going to put it on MP4 format. Okay, now you could also put it on GIF as well, so GIF will work here. But I want to do it as a video because I want to show you Giphy. Okay, so you could do as a GIF here, send it out and use that, but I'm going to use MP4 here, and I'm going to download it. Okay, and there's a reason. So if you've got video, you can convert these to GIF if you like. Okay, so we're then going to jump onto a site that you can specifically do that, and it's called Giphy. Okay, and Giphy is the library, the same library that Zenler ties into when you select your GIF files. Yeah, so if you don't know about GIF, I've got it there. I'm just going to take this one out and throw it onto my desktop here. Okay, and close that off. Okay, so now I've downloaded that file. I'm going to jump into giphy.com. Okay, so we're going to do that now, and then you can see what I'm going to do. So you need an account here to be able to do this. So if you go to giphy.com, I'm going to share my screen again. Here we go. So Giphy, GIPHY.com. Okay. And inside here, if you've got an account, I'm already got an account, you can go and upload something. So I'm going to click upload and I'm going to choose that video file that I downloaded. Okay. Now notice that you can also use GIF with transparency as well, or upload a GIF, MP4, movie. So you can upload these here. You can choose any format you want as well. And you can also put a URL to where to grab it. So I'm going to go and select that now. Okay, now I've selected that GIF. This is what happens. So I've uploaded it, I've selected it. So what it'll do is it'll run through this and it'll show you the animation effect. So we can get this, and I think we can bring it in a bit as well if you want it just to be at the end of it, like that. Yeah, so it's repeating. This is going to make it a smaller file size, and it's just going to repeat like this. So you can have that end part, or you can cut it down in here. You could even move this time frame around as well. I'm going to leave it like it is, so it'll repeat like this, which looks pretty cool. So let's continue to upload. And because you've got an account, it will set up. You can see that I've set up some in collections here, and I've got it here. Here it is. So what I can do is I can click download. So you can upload to Giphy. You can click this and upload it to Giphy, so it becomes public. Now, I thought that if I've uploaded it publicly, then I should be able to find it on Zenler's communities and plug it in. And maybe I can, but I haven't done enough research, so I can't be bothered to spend too much time on it. So I'm just going to click the download here. So if I click download, it's going to download me as a GIF file. You can see it there. Let me open this up. You can see it there. So I'm going to put that onto my desktop, and then we're going to go into our community. Let's go into communities, and we can add this little file, and it's really cool. So let's go into here and just go down to the image, and I'm going to go and find that image. There it is there. Okay, and I'm going to go open, and there it is there. And I'm going to go testing for this. Okay, and I'm going to click just post. And now what you're going to do is you're going to get this little gift type effect going in on the page. So if we look down here, here it is. You can see it's appeared in that page, but it's just appeared in that page like that. And maybe I just want it as a GIF in here. So you could search the library, and I've noticed that if I select it inside here as a comment, it works better rather than a featured. So if you're going to use it, don't use it in the main top part, just use it in here, and then you get this GIF effect happening inside here. Okay, just like when people do for this. Okay, so it looks the same. So this is how you can create your own cool GIF file going in there. So let me just delete this one out. Let me edit this post and just delete it out. So don't do it as a featured. But what I like about Giphy is that it saves it all. So you can see you can add this to a collection. So if I added it to a new collection, let's put it into funnies, and now it will appear in funny. So in my account now, I will have access to that. So if I go into my account, you can see all of them appear in there. You can see another one I've put up there and that one there. And you can create all of these directly in Giphy, and then you can just download them. So you've got ones already, you can click in here, click download, and then you can do it that way. So a really cool little effect that you can do here using Giphy, and you can put that in there to give this kind of cool effect, GIF effect, but it's your own, okay? So another little tip, animated GIFs, very, very cool. Little subtle things, but remember you can use your logo in there. So it's a really cool thing to do, you know, or thank you, or these, and put your logo in there as well. So it can be very custom rather than just the generic ones that you get with Giphy. So little tip for you there. So there we go, guys. Hopefully you like it. I see Ellie's put very cool. Angela's put, but couldn't you use white space around the image file so that when you use it in primary post, you would see the whole thing? Yeah, well, we're not covering that, Angela. I think, you know, this is what we're talking about, custom GIFs, okay? We're not talking about full-size images for display or CTAs. We're talking about custom GIFs, little added things, all right? We're going to look at post types, and what you're saying is correct. You could do an animation. We're going to cover that in a minute, but we need to be doing it at the right size. So this is a really important aspect of it moving forwards. But this is just a fun way. This is a way to add. Remember, like, think about it. Get fun with this stuff. Use your own logo in there. Put your face in there. You know, make it yours. So every GIF that you upload or apply to your community members can be personalized. You know, you can set these things up so quickly that if someone's done a really good job, you can actually put their name on there or something, you know, so you could really start to engage and people would be like, wow, this is amazing. Someone's actually done this stuff when it only takes you like 2 or 3 minutes to do. And it's like that, wow, it gives that wow factor that you don't get by just doing the standard bog standard GIFs that everybody does, right? So that's the whole point of it. So Angela, it's all right. We're going to get to full-size posts and the problems that you can have with those in a minute, because it's about polishing everything, isn't it? We're about polishing everything we're doing so far. So we're now going to jump into the next part of this now, and this is going to be all about the campaign. So what we need to do is we want to kind of like from this point on, we're going to kind of build a little theoretical campaign, okay? And this campaign is about, let's look at a theoretical campaign that you can adapt. So you can adapt this for anything you want. Now, campaigns are usually bigger and they're also backed up by lots of social posting, but we're talking about creating a survey. So our campaign at this time, and you might be thinking, well, a campaign only applies to like if I'm running ads or I'm getting people in courses. No, anything you put together that's part of a sequence is a campaign, okay? So, and this being the same, because this is about grabbing data in this particular one. Our mission is to get additional data from the users to shape your next course. So what we can do is what we're doing is we're post driving users. There is a post driving users enrolled in a course to a survey. So let's now have a little bit of a flashback to what we did before. We created a registration page that signed them up into a course. Is everyone in agreement with that? Yeah. So when we send people through the registration to apply for the community, now they become part of a course. Yeah, do you guys agree with that? So with that in mind, take note, because we already looked at registering them for a course, we can drive them to the survey straight away. All right. Now this is where it gets really interesting. So I can see Ellie's put yes there. This is where it kind of is a light bulb moment, hopefully for you guys. You have not just got a standard registration form where they come in as leads or they come in as students. You've now got a registration course that has all the abilities that a course does. Yeah. And when I say abilities that a course does, lessons. You can now deliver anything in a lesson type to anybody in the community. You know that when they come into the public community, the only way they can post is to log in. When they log in, you've already set them up in a course. So even though in that course you did not put the curriculum block, you can still access it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to create a post to a community and we're going to send them directly to a survey inside of the dummy course that we use to sign them up to filter them on public community. Are you guys clear with that? Is the light bulb starting to pop? Are you starting to think, wow, this could be cool? Let's hear back. Oh, I've got the group. I've got oh, it's 3 o'clock. Hi Angela, hi Pauline, hi Roger. Yeah, so Angela's in there. Sounds really cool. I can see they're off the Facebook group now, so I can close that window down on here. Okay, guys, great. So that is it. So we're gonna create a post. We're gonna create a post that we want to send people in. That's going to be our campaign. But before we get to this part, what I want to do is I want to just talk about post type. And Angela mentioned it herself. Couldn't we put white space around it and put that GIF into a post as a main post page? Absolutely, 100%, if we've got it at the right size. All right. So that's what I want to do. Kevin, don't leave Facebook. No, because he hasn't got all his comments. So guys, jump back and forwards. He wants his comments. Right. So with that said, we're going to move on. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to be our campaign, all right? That's going to be what we're trying to do. We're trying to take people that are in a community that have come through that course, and we're going to drive them straight directly to that lesson. And we're going to do that. So we're going to move on through here, and we're going to look at the next part then, which is there. Right. Okay. So really important here. I'm going to be doing some screen sharing at this point on. I'm sure you guys will be super happy to hear. So I'm going to be doing some screen sharing to show you post types and problems that you have with post types if you're not using the right size. So I have a few to show you here, and I'll show you how to get the right size, and I'll be giving you templates as well. And don't worry, all these templates are going to be inside the replay page anyway. So I'm going to jump to me screen share here, so you can see me screen share. So this is a dummy site, okay? And inside here, you're going to see that I've got a live stream. You're going to be watching this video later how I did this. Okay, this is a live stream running in here. Okay, it was a live stream. It's finished now. And you'll be looking at that later in the video. But let's have a look at this. So this, guys, is a post. But look, it's cut. This is the actual size. Okay, but it's cut. So we want to make sure when we're doing this stuff that we do it at the right size for the communities. So this post is a 4x3 size, okay? And this one here is a square image. So you can see it's even more cut. Do you see that? What's happening? Yeah? So that's the actual size. It's square. So we want it to be lovely like this. So there's actually two sizes that we can use here. And one of those sizes is 1920 by 1080, okay? And the other size is 1080 by 600. And I have two templates in here. So inside here, I have the templates ready to go. I have this one here, which is 1080 by 600. Okay. And I have a cover image as well. You're going to get all the templates for these. And I have the one that's a Giphy template that you've already got. And this one here, which is also one. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm using the right size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload one of these templates. Doesn't matter whether I use the 1080 by 600 or I use the 1920 by 1080. So guys, make sure you're writing that down. I will be supplying the templates, but it's worth you writing that down on a piece of paper. Okay, we've got the template links. So the template link for this one here and this one here, I'm going to drop into the chat now. Okay, so you guys can have them both for both of these sizes. So hopefully they'll go in there. You can then use that as a base. You can save it off in your own accounts. And I'll drop it in here. Hopefully it's okay. So you've got both of those. They will go in the replay page. So guys, don't ask, oh, where were those template packs? They'll be in the replay page. I'm not going to put them in twice. So copy that, put it in there. Remember those sizes, that 1080 by 600. So if you want something a little bit lower in height, you could use that 600. Or remember the magic size, my magic size, 1920 by 1080. It's the magic size. It works for everything. It's the perfect size. Okay, and that's why I use it all the time. That's why that size is used. So really important, you grab those. So I have some already, and I just want to show you now. You've seen what the bad version is. You've seen that it doesn't, oh, that's the Zenler community. Let me just close that down. You've seen inside here that we have this wrong size, all that stuff. Yeah. So now I'm going to upload the right size. So let's just go in, grab an image, and I'm going to go to my little image folder. And on my desktop, I've got my live assets in here. So I've got wrong sizes. Let's put a square in just to show you. Let's post that square, and you're going to see that it's you know, it's cut off. It's cut the Zenler logo off. It doesn't say anything at the bottom. That's how it is. Yeah, and I want it to show how it is. So I'm going to go in and edit the post, and this is the beauty. You can edit this post. I can delete this out. I can click in here again, and now I can choose my correct size to put in here. So I could choose one of these images, and they're all going to work perfectly. Okay, and I can put this one in here as well. So look at this. This is a GIF file. Okay, this is going to be important later. But for now, what I'll do is I'll drop in this static image here and drop it in. So let's now have a look at this. This is perfectly done to size for your block. And it shows, everything shows there that's in there. All right. So this is good. You could have come in a little bit on there, a little bit of white space either side, but you've got a nice little block going in there that you can use to promote. So then what you can do is you can then put a link there underneath that goes straight to the course. So if I was to put inside here, inside this part, I'll put grab 3 months at 50% off. Okay, you could do something like that, and then you could have 50% off. Then you can have a link going through, and we're going to look at this in a minute anyway. If we've got time, I'll link it to a coupon applied to this. So that's 2 months. So that's how it looks. So it's better already, isn't it, guys? You know, have you guys put stuff into your communities and it's been cropped and it's been annoying you? You know, this is all about perfecting things, polishing things. So Angela has, yeah. So you know that size. So come in a little bit on that. Just make sure there's a little bit of white space around it and it will fit in there perfectly. I think Angela saw your community and you did a really good job with the this part, the cover image. So inside of Canva, again, we've got a cover image size. That's 1920 by 600. I haven't really got to send you that. That's our cover image. I've got that in the templates as well. Let me send that to you. So I've got a cover image in there. So if you guys are grabbing stuff from the chat, you are having a happy time. So that's the cover image for the top part of your site as well. So for this part, okay. And I think Angela did it so that it was the same color as that kind of background. You notice this is on a white background in here. So it kind of works with everything. If you put it on this gray background, it'll be a white line here, and then it would look like it was in here. Personally, I like to make it big and bold like this, you know, so that it really stands out and pops rather than sort of fading in the background. But it's really up to you how you want to do it. All right, so that is the perfect size. That's what you need to be remembering. That size, post size, 1920 by 1080, right? Master the perfect post size to get maximum engagement, right? So Andrew's put, yes, I used the site size based on the tours and their information. Yeah, exactly. Because luckily, it's that same size. It's that 1920 by 1080. If Zenler decide later to change that size to something that isn't standard, I'm going to be really upset because that's the only number I remember. All right, so let's move. So that's post site. Are you guys okay with that? Do you understand that? Is that good for you? Yeah, Andrew's good. Ellie's good. Oh, good to see you, Eddie. Eddie's in the house. Geraldine, Nicola, good to see you, Nicola. Pauline and Scott, you all okay with that? Yeah, that's the magic size. So if you start using that size, and like Angela said, she's probably locked it in her head now. This size is 1920 by 1080 because it's used for course cards. It's used for all the thumbnails. It's used for every part of the site, even the background images behind blocks. Lock that into your head and that will really help you. Great, fabulous. All right, let's move through. So let's move on to the next part now, which is animating posts. So now, Angela said to me in the chat, couldn't I just put white space around that and then it would work? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely you can. But why do that when we can get that perfect size? You know, we got that perfect size, 1920 by 1080 and also 1080 by 600 if you want to come in a little bit. So we might as well use that size. So we're going to do exactly the same as what we did for the animated GIFs, but we're going to miss a step out. We're not going to go to Giphy to do this. We don't need to. We can just go straight to Canva to do this. So I'm going to go straight to screen share again. And I've got a little graphic here. This is the 1080 by 600 graphic. And what you're going to find in here is what you can do is you can, this is a nice little block that I've given you here. So you've got these templates. And this could be really good for your question type posts or asking people to attend a survey or these sort of things. And we can animate it as well. So inside here, what you can do is you can select certain components inside here. Let's grab this main top one and we can click animate here. So now what you can do is you can animate it. So you can do this. Okay. Now, if you go click on the slide, you're going to see there's a time editing. So you can actually change this. So if I make this like 3 seconds, then it will repeat after 3 seconds. So you're going to get that. So I'll probably leave it on 4 to let it type like that. You're also going to notice that it does it on both. So when it does it on both, it means that it does it at the beginning and it does it at the end. If you put it on enter, it only does it on entry and it doesn't do it on exit. So if you wanted it to appear as it is now, when it's posted, then you'll leave it on exit. So when it hits exit, it will start to type again, and then it will go back to fully. So with me, I put it on both because then it just repeats. All right. So I've animated this over 3 seconds by clicking 4 seconds on the slide. All I need to do, and I can build up multiple events in here. You can see this one's animated in here. Okay, so I've built up multiple slides with animations in them. And this is the one I want to export out. Now, remember there's slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. So I can export these out in one go as an image, right? But it'd be massive. I could do it as a video, or I could do it as a GIF, but it'd be a huge file. So I want to keep it really small. So I'm only going to export one out. So you go to share, you go to download, you don't pick MP4, right? You pick GIF here. Okay, now I don't want to export all of the pages. I only want to export one page. But you'll see down here, if you want to download each of these 3 files, you can download them as separate files by clicking that button there. But I'm not going to, I'm just going to do page 1. So I'm going to cancel all of these and I'm going to select page 1 and click done. Now I'm going to download it. So I'm downloading it as a GIF. Now, if I download it as a video, they would have to click play. And I just want this repeating. Same way that your GIF works, okay? Be careful because it's a bigger file size, GIFs create. But for this sort of thing, it's really, really cool. So don't use it all the time and over animate things. Just do it when it works for you. So I'll download it there and then I'll be ready to go. Now I've already got this one prepared, so I don't need to wait or open it up or anything. So I'm now going to jump into our public site lifestyle community here, and I'm going to post it inside here. So this is the effect you're going to get. So I'm going to go in here. I'm going to select image, not video, image, right? And I go and select that one that's working, which is this one here. So I'm going to click open. And then I'm just going to post it. And now look what we've got. We've got this lovely little graphic going in there, perfectly in there, that just repeats and adds a bit of action to our site. Do you like that, guys? Give me a yay. Yeah, you love it. Okay. Yeah, good. Because it's cool, isn't it? It looks really cool. And it just takes it all up a level. So it all takes everything up a level. Now, as I was mentioning to you before, we need to link through to things. So I've got this in place. So when you're looking at these slides that I've done in here that you've got access to, right? Those ones I shared with you, just remember that you can use it for any purpose. So if you want to, you can link that one that I did here straight to a course or through to a coupon. And now you've got a way of delivering something that looks really eye-catching and you can use it. And imagine if I did something like Black Friday was 3 days away and you were about to set. Why not every day post only 3 days until Black Friday? Only 2 days. tomorrow is Black Friday, and then post an offer like this into the community. Now, when you're doing this, this is just one part of the picture, but this is reaching your audience that's here. So you might want to put the full price on a public community, but you might want to do a slightly different image for the private or the secret community, because these are people that already bought from you, and you might want to give them a special offer, and you can do that. But remember that this is a really small part of a campaign. Normally, if I was doing something like this, I would be running socials out at different sizes, and I'd be sending them off to TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, doing videos on it, going into a Facebook group that I'm a member of, doing a video telling people about the offer, and I will put it in here as well. So this is one side of it. But you need to be shouting about your brand. Number one thing in marketing is shout about what you do. Don't hide in a corner, because you'll never be found. So that's the big picture going forwards. So we now created beautiful animation there, in Canva in a few seconds, and you can play around. There's so many different things you can do in Canva. It's amazing, as you will see when we move forwards. So that is animating a post inside of Canva and putting that into your beautiful communities. So linking to stuff, okay? So this is where we go, right? So what we want to do is we want to actually link this up to a survey. So we know people have come through the registration process and they're part of the course. Yeah? Is that good? So what I want you to do is I want you to then go into that course and then recognize that everyone that's coming through your membership now, or your registration page, is part of this course. And if you understand that, you then know that you've got access to the curriculum. And inside the curriculum, you can add lesson types, and you can send people directly to those lesson types. So anyone that's on the community, you know that they've come in and they're part of this. Okay, and it's free. Now, people that are not, so if someone signed up for a course and they haven't signed up through the public registration and they go to the link, it'll ask them to register. That's okay, because for them, they're already logged in. So they just enroll. And when they enroll, they then get access to this information as well. All right. So that's good. So Andrew's saying, very cool. Didn't realize Canva was so diverse. You wait. Right. You got some good stuff going. So this is amazing, because this opens up your community to share video, audio, ebooks, PowerPoint, PDFs, text, custom code, downloads, quizzes, surveys, branching quizzes, branching surveys, SCORM HTML packages, assignments, and lives from the community, because you've pushed them through. Is everybody understanding this? Great. No, no, I don't agree with you, Kevin. This is where we rub. I can do so much in Photoshop that you cannot possibly imagine doing in Canva. But I do agree, for most people is absolutely fine. Kevin's fine. No, you don't. You knew I wouldn't agree. He's trying to roll me. It's like pop-ups. You're trying to roll me. Right, okay. So understand that now we haven't just got a registration system in Zenler that when someone signs up, they're just a student and they just hanging. Now we have a whole system in place to deliver stuff to them, to warm them up quicker, to get them into your paid programs. All right. And that's all we're trying to do. We're not going to do full courses in here for our community unless we charge them to come through. This is a free public community that we're trying to get you guys to use to get people in. We're trying to say to you that you can now deliver everything to warm your people up in the fastest time possible, including running a live. Okay. So you can put on there, run a live, book your spot. They come straight in there, book their spot. You can run the live. You don't even need to use the streaming part that we're going to show later in this series. Okay. So what I've done is I've set up a survey. So to link directly to this survey from our community post here, we're going to simply go to preview and down to course curriculum. This is from my admin dashboard. When I click this, it's going to load this up. And if you've got a series of different lessons in here, all you need to do is click the lesson that you want. Look at this URL at the top. If I click here, it will change. If I've got another lesson, this will change. So all I need to do is click this, and this is the link I need. This is the link I need, and this is the link that will drive people to create this survey, to take part in this survey. So I'm going to put that in action now. So I've jumped in. So to repeat, just to repeat to you, I'm inside of this. I could set up multiple lesson types and choose multiple links from here. To get the link URLs, I go preview, course curriculum as a student. I grab this URL. If people are not registered on the site or part of the course and you give them this link, they cannot get into it. Okay, I know that question would probably come up. They cannot get into it because they're not registered. All right, so you're safe with that link. And we know that people that have registered through the Zen pop-up site are part of this course because they've gone through the course registration process. So inside here now, all we need to do is we need to just add that in there. So all we do is edit the post. Please take our survey so we can deliver a better experience for you. Simply jump in now and then paste the link in here. Now this will come up with login. Just delete that out, okay, and click save. Okay, this is it. This is what it's done. So if I'm logged in, remember I'm logged in. I'm going to show you as a test student in a minute, but if I click this, it's taken me right to the right survey. So that'll load. I can start this course now. I check this, I move on to the next one, blah, blah, blah. And it's done. And it's going to save it. So when I finish my result, it will send a report in Zenler that I can then filter and export out and use that data. So I'm going to go in now as a user. So I set up a user here. Is this the user? No, this is not the user. Okay. Okay, this is someone who's not logged in. All right, remember this is a public community, so I want to prove a point here. So if I click community here, then I can see the public community and I can see the posts. That's all good. Okay, try and go in this one, and it's going to say it's locked because it's a private community. You can't see the secret community. We talked about this. This is the public one that people can see all the posts and they see this. So I want to prove now that you can't get into it from that link. So if I click this, it's going to ask me to register. Okay. Now on my Zen pop-up, I haven't got an account. So I'd have to go, oh dear, I haven't got an account. I want to see that content. I better click sign up. And then it's going to take me through the course. And then I'll be part of it and I can see that information. Do you see? Yep. So I hope that's clear. I'm going to just now jump in as a test student. So I'm going to come off of screen sharing a second. And I'm going to set myself up in incognito. I've got to remember what the login is for it. Hold on. Oh, I'm in there already. That's perfect. Okay. So I'm in this account now as someone that's just registered for this course. Okay. So if I jump into community now, because I'm registered, you're going to see that I can see this public community here. And down here, because I'm a registered user, you can see I'm registered. That's me, Tracy Browning, in there. Okay. And you can see there, and if I click this, I will go through to complete the survey. So is that mind-blowing? So that's direct linking to lessons. You could also share PDFs and these sort of things to your users by uploading them to the media library, grabbing the share link and posting them. You can do that as well. But that's how it works. So they're part of this now, and you can see that all working in there. So hopefully that's really clear. Okay, you can do the same thing with any other courses you put out. So if you have a coupon, you can put a coupon in there and send it out to people. So that's good. So Andrew's put, I really like this. I wanted to do lives in my community. So this gives me a solution. Yeah, absolutely it does. And it's not too late. It's not too late because you set up your community. You could take all your users and you could enroll them in it. So then they become part and you could tag them if you wanted to. So you could export them out, bring them back in, tag them and add them to the community. So it can still work for you even if you've got a fairly established community. It's really good you're here as well, Geraldine, because we saw your post about you saying you're super excited about the community feature, which is good. So that's good. So we've talked about linking now, linking to stuff, because it could be anything. I've shown you how to direct link to a community. And this is all because we set that registration page up at the beginning. So I think it's super cool. You know, I think it opens up so many opportunities for you because they haven't paid for it. It's content you could remove and you could add something else to. You don't have to have the survey there the whole time. You can just put it into draft and then they won't be able to get to it. You could replace it with something else. So you could make it, you could put a podcast in there and you could change it every week. You could draft it, put another one in. You see? So we've got tons of stuff we can do now with this. So let's move on because it's we're taking time. I knew it would be a long one. So we're going to move on now and we're going to move on to the next part. And this is streaming to the community. All right, this is a big one, guys. Some of you won't want to use this. If you've done streaming on YouTube before, then this will be quite easy for you. If you've never done it, have a go because it's good fun. Okay. And if you know how to stream, set up events and these things, or you know how to do it through Zoom and stream, then this stuff's going to be really easy because actually putting it into the community on Zenler is so easy. It's drop a link. Okay, that's all it is. So I'd be showing you the setup of Zoom rather than a lot of the time spent on the community. So we're going to jump into streaming now. This is not too long a length, but it's another big one. Okay, so if you haven't got time to watch it now, watch it afterwards, and then we'll carry on. So here we go. Okay guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how we can set up a Zoom session, just like you would for your normal Zoom sessions, but we're going to actually stream it into our community, okay? And we're going to try two things here. We're going to stream it straight into the community, then I'm going to test streaming it into a live chat, which means you'll get instant feedback when people are coming in. Now, there's something to bear in mind here, and this is the fact that when you actually set up your live chat, you're going to have to manually add them in as a group, as a WhatsApp group, so they can watch it inside the live chat. However, the benefit of that means instant feedback. So when they type, you see them typing, you see those messages come straight up on there. It could be lost in the chat, the actual stream itself, we're not sure. So this is all advanced stuff that we're trying out here as well. Now, I already know that I can stream straight into the live community. And if you've got post approval, it's not going to be knocked down. So it's always going to be at the top. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to set it up. So I'm going to come off myself now because I'm using multiple cameras to do this, or I'm using one camera that's flicking across. So I'm going to be showing you inside the platform just to set up the booking type and to tell you which type I think is the best for this method for a main reason. And I'll tell you that in a second. So obviously we're going to look at the promotion stuff as well that you put in there. We've put that in there to say the event's coming up, to tell people about it, and they're going to be in the community when you're ready. So let's jump in now and let's set this up, and I'll show you exactly how it works and how you can get it to live stream in. And we're going to be using YouTube to do this as well. Okay guys, let's jump into admin dashboard and let's set up a live type. So I'm going to go into the live section of the site, and I'm going to be choosing one-to-one booking. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is it gives me a direct Zoom invite link. Okay, so I'm going to go and create a new one-to-one booking in here, and I'm going to set this. I'm actually going to change it to now so that I can run the stream now and show you guys, but I'm going to just set this ahead of time at the moment, just so it makes it easier. So I'm going to set this for Friday. It doesn't really matter what time at the moment. I'm just going to put this in here. I'm going to go a live community stream 1. Okay. So remember that you can always set up reoccurring sessions. So you can repeat this same thing again. You haven't got to reset this up from scratch. So if you set a reoccurring up, you can reoccur this session. So if I do it here, repeat every once a month or once a week in here. You can do that weekly, and you can say which days. We're choosing Friday, and we would choose the specified time that we already chose, which was every Friday, and after a specific number it's going to cut out. So we can say, for instance, up to 30 in here, 30 sessions. I'm going to pick 10. Okay, so that'll be over 10 weeks, and the weekly and then we can hit view occurrences. Now I take the time from the time that you set in here. Okay, so you're going to make sure that's right as well before you begin. So I want to make sure that's on the Friday there, that I've got it set on 12 in here, and that looks good. And I'm going to go and say that's good. I'm going to make it secret in here, and you can enable cloud recording if you want to. Of course, set the session and the number of registrants that you want in there, because believe it or not, one-to-one allows you to put in still your maximum participation level on whatever plan you're in. In this case, we're going to put it on 300 for Pro plan. I'm going to click next now, and it's going to tell you if there's any mistakes. So I've just got to put my time zone in here like this, and we can now click next, and it should go through. Okay, so let's choose the booking. So I'm going to choose this one here and click finish. I don't really care about this booking section so much, but you could set this up if you want to charge for it. So you might want to charge separately and give this free to your users, you know, depending on how you want to work it, or if you're running them through a course or something. All right. So if we go back to our booking details again here, you can view those occurrences. So you can view the occurrences in here, and you can see they're all running at 12 p.m. and they're all running every Friday. Okay, you can see that in there. Now I can go in and edit these if I want to change this time and date by clicking edit. And if I don't want to run one, I can click the cancel schedule for that particular live as well. But this is going to run from the same thing. So of course you can put a nice course card up here. I'm just going to grab something like that and just crop and save that in there. And now we've got this all set up and it's ready to go. So let's just click update there. So that is all set up. Now the reason I use one-to-one bookings is because I've got this direct invite link here, and this is going to be key to our community, because if I want people to jump into the Zoom live with me, I can send them this direct invite link to come straight in, to bypass registration. Okay, now we are doing two things here. We want to stream it into the group, but maybe at a point like we do, you might want to then let people come into the Q&A part, so you can then put that into the community and people can click it and come straight into the Zoom session. Okay, so that's why I choose one-to-one. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work with all of the other types. It just means that I've got this availability to be able to drop an invite link in if I really want to. Okay, so, and it's also really handy if you've got co-presenters and stuff like that, because you can also give them that direct invite link to jump in when it starts as well, or you can use Zoom's invite link and get them to come in before the session has even started. So this is all set up, ready to go. So now what we need to do is we need to run it, and we need to run it into the community. Okay, so I'm going to now set this and run this, but that's basically how I've set this stream up to start with. Now I want to be making sure that under YouTube that I've got an event set up so I can run it in there, and I'm going to be showing you that in a second as well. So let me just pause the video whilst I set this time to approximately now, and then we can continue. Okay guys, so before we start, what I want you to do is I want to make sure you've got two tabs open. So you've got your community that you're going to actually stream into, and you've got the actual one-to-one booking ready. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start this session, and we're going to actually live stream into our YouTube channel but with an unlisted video. And then we're going to take that URL and we're going to drag it into our community, and it will all work, hopefully. So let's go and just start our session now. And let's start that session. I've got this set on 30 minutes. So I'm just going to put it on an hour just in case, because I want to spend a bit of time and show you. So I'm now going to just save that, update that, make sure I've got cloud recording turned on. So you've got always got a replay of that. So if I need to get it. So I'm going to click start class now. It's going to say start. So I'm going to start this class. And it's going to come up with any warnings 15 minutes before. Now I am actually today, I need to change the date to today's date and save it and do it again. Okay, so now we should all be ready to go. Let's start this session. So it's going to start this session now. Okay, so now the session is starting. I'm going to open my Zoom meeting. So you should see it here, and I'm going to just connect to this. So let me just start that. And there we go. You can see me inside here now. And now what I'm going to do is connect this up. So now I've got my meeting started there. I can close that down. I can close that down. I can just have my community available to me, and I can be on here. So what I want to do now is I want to stream into YouTube channel. So I'm going to go to more, I'm going to go live stream, and I'm going to go live on YouTube. So that's going to connect me. It's going to ask me which account I want to use. I'm going to use this account here, and it's going to give me details. So I need to put details in here, what you want to call it. I want to make this unlisted because I don't really want it to show publicly for public people to see it. But if you wanted to, you could make it public, you know. Don't make it private, otherwise it won't grab the link. So set the resolution to high. I'm going to put it on 720. I'm going to click go live. So now what Zoom is doing is it's connecting. If it comes up and it says allow Zoom to access, make sure you check all so that Zoom can access your YouTube account. Okay. And it's always a good idea, I think, to actually register. Oh, here we go. We're live. So let me just pause it there. We're actually live. You can see us live now on YouTube. It's unlisted video. Okay, this is an unlisted video. So all I need to do now is I need to share this link. So if I grab this link here and I copy it, okay, if I do this, you're going to, I will come back. But if I now go into our community and I come down here, I can label this live chat, live stream. Direct to you. Okay, and then inside the video options, I'm going to go to embed, and I'm going to put that link in there, and I'm going to click add, and you're going to see it's going to come up here. Now if I click post, what's going to happen is it's going to drop it in here, and if you click this play, I am now live inside here. I've muted myself here, but you can see I'm live in here. Okay, so now I'm streaming inside this group. So if people close this, obviously you're going to see that that's my default cover image. But if they click this, they're going to see this. So you can put a note underneath there. Click the video. I am live, you know, and you can remove that later if you want to. So you can see inside there that I can actually stream live, and I'm streaming through YouTube here. Okay, so you can see I can catch up to where I am now. So you can see there's a little bit of a delay, but we are streaming live. Okay, guys, so that's done. So into the community, you can see I can stream live in there through YouTube. What about live chat? So I'm going to go into live chat, and I've set one up here because I was testing something out. If I've still got that link that I grabbed from here, okay, for that live link, if I use it inside the live chat, will that access the live? So this is what I wanted to test out. So inside write a message here, I'm going to put that live link in there like this, and I'm going to click send here. And now if I click this, I should be live. You can see I'm live in there. So people could start writing. The only problem is that it will get knocked down as you go up, you know, as the writing comes in there. So but you could say to people, okay, live chat, and you could drop the actual live link in there, or you could drop this link in there. So you could say, come and see me there, and drop any comments in here. Yeah, it's not a perfect solution at the moment until we get live built in, but it is a solution. It means you can live stream into your group or post videos of stuff that you're doing now, right now. So this is how the live streaming works at the moment inside of your YouTube channel, your community, your Zenler community. And you'll also notice that you might want to do a VIP thing. So you might want to share that link in your private communities or your secret communities or your discussion communities as well, guys. So really, really cool. You can do it, but remember that Zenler is going to have streaming built into it at some stage anyway. But you can see I'm still live there. And when you, of course, when you finish your live session, all you need to do is you need to finish your Zoom session. So inside here, if I end this session, then everything will end. Okay, the stream will finish. Okay, so you can just cancel out of that. Even on here, it will finish. The live stream has finished. Okay, you'll see it finishes. And there we go, we've finished. So that's how it works. Really, really simple. You just need to connect it. You need to live stream to YouTube, and then you can drop that link directly into your community. So you've got a multi-stream happening here. You've got Zoom. And remember, while you're running your Zoom session, you could also use the direct invite link to invite people into that session as well. So if I go into here at a certain stage within the live, I could come across to my one-to-one booking. I could grab this direct invite link here, and then I could post that. I could put something like, join me on Zoom now. And then I could post that in there, and people can jump straight into that live session. Do you see? So that's how it works. So between knowing all of that information, you can make it work how you want to. You might want to come on the group early and just say, look, I'm about to go live. I want you guys to jump in with me. Here's the link, and just put it straight on there and do it as simple as that if you wanted to. Okay. Or you could just drop the link in and say, I'm running a live now, jump in and see me. And then you could put pre-recorded video up or something. However you want it to work can work for you. You just need to make that decision going forward. So that is live streaming through Zoom, from Zoom to YouTube back into your community. And as you see, that also works for live chat as well, but it does get knocked down in the chat when people type. Okay, guys. So yeah, it's had a question come in from Lisa, and she was saying, well, why can't we just use our Zenler Zoom, and why can't we put that straight into community? Because they're not linked. Okay, so when you start Zoom sessions now, they're self-contained Zoom sessions. They come outside of the Zenler platform. They're using Zenler Zoom, but you're in the Zoom app. Okay. So it's not part of anything else. When you put Zoom into any lesson types, then yes, they appear inside those lesson types. Now, at the moment, the streaming hasn't been incorporated into the community area, but it is something that the dev team are working on, and that will come in, and then you won't need to use this. However, you still might want to use it. And as Scott said, and I think Ellie said as well, you know, this would be a really good thing to use those videos. You can already use the videos and embed them. So if you do a live, you could then embed that video. So you might have a big audience. Like, for instance, we got 4.8K members on our YouTube channel. That's a lot. It's a big audience, you know. And on my own personal YouTube account, I got over 10K people on there. Okay, so if you put videos on there, I'm trying to tell them about my business, and then of course after I finish that live, I could embed it on my site in my community, or I can do this. I can actually live stream it into my community and then just leave it in there, and they can watch it. They can click a link, and because I put the direct invite link in there, I can have those members join me as well from the community only. If I want to put it on my YouTube invite link, then the YouTubers can come across. So I'm forming a separation. So let's put it this way. If you had it publicly streamed and you decided that this is public, but I want my VIP members to have access to ask me questions at the end of it, perfect. You can run it, put it in your private or secret community or your discussion communities, and you can then have it on the public one as well, okay, because you can post in both places, have the same stream going to both communities. Then when you reach that point of like, okay, members of my course, you can jump in and ask me questions now. And then you can put that into the private discussion or secret community, and then they can jump in live with you. And the people that are on the public that haven't bought anything for you just sit there and they just watch and they can't take part. And that is the kind of VIP experience you're giving them. Now, when they jump in there, also the people on YouTube are going to see them as well. So it's a really good way of using it. You just got to think about what you want to do with it. But I think it's very cool. So even when Zenler brings in direct stream integration into the communities, I think I'll still be using this. Yeah. So because of it's a public community, I want to shout, I want to get my stuff across to as many people as possible. So there's cases when you'll still want to use this technique, guys, going forward. So hopefully that's good. I know there's a lot of things going on. I know this is overload. You know me, I like to really cram it in there. So let's move on to the next part now. So what I want to talk about now is all about podcasting. So I'm going to be really quick with this one. I'm going to start the stream straight away and you're going to see. So I'm screen sharing this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you, Francis, so much to think about. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Take a quick whiskey. Right. Okay. So podcasting. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Canva, and Angela, you're going to love this, talking about earlier, but podcasting, we can create, now most podcast channels now accept video, okay? So that's fact. You can put video up, and if users want to listen to audio only, they can on the podcasting service like Spotify. But if they want to watch the video as well, they have that option. So in this case, we're going to create a video because we can't drop an audio source straight into our community currently, okay? However, we can record audio through our live chat, but we're trying to get this on the public channel. So with that in mind, I'm sharing my screen. I've created this little template for you guys to grab, and I'm going to give it to you as well in a second. Let me do this first. If we open this up, this is a template. This is an audio template. So this allows you to actually go on camera through Canva and record audio. It can record audio, it can record video. Now for this particular case, we're just going to be recording audio. So this template that you will get access to has a cool little effect going on here, but you can swap that out for any of the other effects. There's lots of sound wave. You can click in here and put something like sound wave in here, and then you're going to get all these cool sound wave things come up like that one there. You can drop that in there. So you can style it however you like. But we want to get the recording in here. So we've got this nice template. So what we're going to do is in this template, we're going to go to present. Okay. In present, you're going to see present and record over here. Now, every time you can use this template every single time. Now, but once you record, it will be in there. So when you next open present up, it will say, it won't allow you to present because you'll have a recording in there. So all you need to do is say delete and delete it out and then start new. Okay, that's just for your benefit. So let's go into present and record. And then it's going to say in here, record yourself, and we're going to click next. And then it's going to say there's no public view links. It doesn't matter. You can see it says here, because I already put audio into this. This is what you're going to get. You need to click this button, delete recording. Click delete recording. All right. Now you're fresh. So I click in here now and I click next and I go to recording studio. Now this will say what camera you want to use. If it comes up with allow Canva to access your information. Okay, so it can access. If you click no, then it won't have access. You can see my microphone's going already. I've got the Yeti on here. I've turned the camera off. So I'm just recording voice. Now I'm going to start this. Okay. Here we go. Welcome to the weekly podcast, your handy recap on what's been going on this week. So today we're going to talk about blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that's what you'll do. You'll just run through your thing. And when you've finished, you can pause it, by the way. So we can have a little talk and then you can carry on right and back, you know, and then you can end recording. So when you've ended recording, the audio from that and video, if you put it in there, will go in there and it will come up here. Your recording is ready. You click download and it will download. It will download there. Okay. So that's how you can do it. So I'm going to give you this template, guys. Let me drop it in there. Again, all this stuff's going to be in the replay anyway. So this is podcast. So let's put this on the channel now. So little bit of a caveat here. When you're uploading video, I found, and I know it's been worked on, that it's better to upload it in the media library. Okay, because sometimes it doesn't upload, it takes a long time to process. Development are aware of this, they will sort it out. Okay, it will be sorted out pretty quickly. I know they're working on it, but for now, go into your site, go to your media library and upload it. You'll also notice in here a little tip for you. I tag everything coming in so that I know that it's under community. All of these are featured in the community, so I know how to tag this, so it makes it easy for me. So upload into the media library, jump across to your community, and inside here we're going to click in the video. We're going to go to video library and you're going to select it like that. Then we're going to go welcome to the weekly podcast or podcast, and then you can write what you like in there. You can say, you could be talking about a course, and then you could say, this course is available here. Give them a link to the course. Everything you're doing should be something to follow on from. Let's click post, and inside your community straight away, bang, it's there. So it's going to take a little bit of time there to go up, and that's now up. So if I click this, I can now play. To the weekly podcast, your handy recap of what's been going on this week. There you go. Now, what's also good about this, don't know if you guys have seen it, but you can put captions on here. So if I turn captions, people can read it so they can see the captions. Okay. Also, you've got picture in picture, so it goes down the bottom here. And also another really cool thing is the transcript appears on the side and you can search the transcript. So this is all directly built in here. You can also go full screen here as well and press escape on your keyboard to get out of it. You can close the transcript back down as well. So this can be really good for you guys to use. So if we open this up, you can see that inside here, we also have settings. So if you've got low bandwidth, you might want to change that to 540 so that the audio sounds and the quality of the video doesn't matter so much. Okay. So, and of course you can mute it in there. So this is really handy. Of course, the community shows on your phone in the app, so they will be able to play it in their phone, in their community. Okay. So that's another big thing for you as well. So that is all about podcasts. How cool is that? Do you like it? Angela loves it. So fantastic. Yeah, grab those templates. They will be in the replay page. Okay, let's move on to the next part now. Hopefully that's most of it done. So we're moving on to the next part now, and this is live chat. So yeah, I'm only going to briefly cover this because live chat is something that's really cool that you can get in. You can get instant replies from people straight away. And I'm just going to set things up in here. So I'm going to be screen sharing in a second. I just want to set up my screen so that I can do two things going on in here. And then I can screen share. I can screen share to you. Okay, screen share. So live chat. So on the right hand side is our user. Okay, in this case, Tracy Browning. And on the left hand side is me as admin. So in here, I'm going to jump in here and I'm going to go new chat. And I'm going to type in here, Tracy Browning. I'm going to add her and I'm going to click start. Okay. Now, what's going to happen over here is we're going to have things happen. So I'm going to say, hi, Tracy, how are you? Okay. So something like that. Of course, you could stick your emoji in there as well if you wanted to. We're going to do that. We can also do voice message as well. So allow. So allow while visiting this site, and then it's starting to record straight away and we can click that. So look what's happened on the right hand side. Tracy's little live chat box has popped up. Let's click it. Look, so you've got this going on in here. I haven't sent this yet. Let me send it. And it's bang, it's appeared over there. Now, Tracy's going to be typing back to me. So there we go. And I click that and it will appear on this side. Oop, there you go. So you can see, so instantly things are being shared. So I think this is really, really powerful, you know. And imagine like if it's a VIP client or it's just consultant with one client, they're in part of a private community or a public community, and they've paid you additional money. You can say, okay, let's go to live chat and let's and then use that live streaming method to live stream into there. So you could use this. This is the way I think it's going, because the difference between live chat and what you see when you post is not straight away. With live chat, it's instant. It's like you guys typing in the chat inside the Zoom window. I'm seeing this stuff straight away. And that's the problem that we have if we do it directly in the community, is that there's a delay. What you'll need to do if you're running it and you're trying to do it in here is you'll need to hit refresh every time. You need to look at the post. You need to refresh it like this. You have to click in this so that new messages get loaded in. But with live chat, that's not the case. It's instant. There's instant feedback between you. So very, very cool feature, the live chat. And I hope you guys start using it. You know, when people have questions or they're on the fence about, when you put a question out there, are you guys interested in this course that I've got here? And what would you like to see? And someone comes back and is interested, set the live chat up with them. You know, see if they're online. You can see if they're online now by the little green button. So you can tap into them instantly and go, I just thought I'd set a live chat up to and talk to you personally. What are you concerned with? So you can use this. You can really, really almost like having people come in and out of a meeting room. I mean, it's fantastic. So we want to hear your success stories on that. Definitely, because it's going to be a big one. We know it's going to be big for you guys. So that's what we're doing. So live chat, make sure that you look into that. So let's move on now. What's new? So what I want to do is I want to talk about what's new in the platform, right? So there's a few things, and this made me laugh. I was laughing so hard with this one because we had on our tutorial site, for you guys that haven't been in there, I'm just loading it up now. We had quite a few of you doing something. So I'm just going to show you now. And none of you twigged. So I think I had Ellie, I think Pauline, or I don't think Angela did, but we're going to have a look now and just going to see, and I can just show you. So this would be so funny for you. Right, okay. So this is our public community. Hopefully you guys are part of this now. What I did, right? I just find it so funny. So what we did is we did a, let's find it. It's in the public. There's a lot of posts going on. I'm just going to jump to it. Actually, there it is there. Okay. So this is what I posted, right? And I got 100%, four of you. You all put in there, but no one put any comments. Nobody. But what is this? This is a poll. You're some of you guys are here, like Ellie, definitely. Like you just hit the 100% excellent. You're loving the workshop, but you didn't ask the question like, how did you do that? Yeah, you've got the ability now in the platform to do polls. So I asked permission from Rakesh, has not actually said that it's yeah, he hasn't said that it's actually announced yet, but it is there, it's working. You guys have been using it. So to set up a poll, you can do it inside the platform easily. You just click inside here and you click poll, and inside here you can put how is your day? It's just really simple. Good, okay, or stressed. And then you can click save. Okay. And give it a title like this. And you can post that straight into there. Okay. And there it is. And then, of course, you can vote on that. You can click it to vote and you can see the people that come up. So this is one of the features that has been introduced. So the other feature that is really cool in here is you have the ability to actually follow people as well. So you can now follow people inside here. So I'm going to follow Kevin there. So I followed Kevin, so I will be notified. So follow posts, you can follow members, and online presence you can see by the little dot. So I can see nobody's online. If any of you guys jump in, this will change. So got you guys in here, and I followed Kevin there. Let's follow a few more of you. Okay, let's follow people that are in here a lot. So yeah, so you can follow people. So 3 awesome new features you've been asking for. So follow posts, follow members, and follow online presence available to you. So you can follow all of those things. So you can also follow posts that are in here as well. So let me just look for a post that's been done by Pauline. So inside here, you can, I don't know how you follow actually in there. So you can pin that to featured. Maybe it's because I'm admin. Oh, follow post. So you can hit a bell icon there to follow that post. So I'll be told. And a little bell rings as well. It's pretty cool. And I'm followed by checking it. So you've got that follow post in there, follow members, online presence. So we've also got the follow members. So you can see that we've followed members and the online presence. And of course, we've got polls. So they're things that you might not have seen. So Geraldine saw the new poll featured a couple of days ago. Oh, was it featured? I'm not sure it was, but anyway, no one clicked in there. So I didn't do a video on it, so I didn't see it if it did come out. So there we go. So that's some of the new features that we've got in there. So pretty cool, isn't it? We're adding things all the time. And I think these little things that we do are really important. You guys ask for polls. You know, now polls, if you're running a simple poll to get some data analysis from people or just find out what they want, you can now put it in your community. So we're adding more and more and more things. Yeah. Yeah. So Pauline said, my animal Muppet mind is going, because I did a little Muppet thing on there, and she said, that's me. So fantastic. All right. So let's move on now. So that's what's new coming into the platform there. So, right. So what I want to do now is I want to ask you, you don't have to do it now in here, but if you enjoyed this session, can you help Kevin, who's trying to get the most amount of comments on this Facebook thread, you know, on the one that you've all come from? Can you post on how much you enjoyed, what you're going to use and what you're going to learn, what you're going to use for your community, and you know if it's been helpful for you? So that would be really cool. So enjoy the session and share your thoughts. So I do have some homework for you, and I'm going to put this into the public group as well. So inside here, we have homework is try some of these posts and screenshot to the group labeled as post session 2. So they're going to go into our Zenler community, okay? But you can put them, if you want to, you can put them in the thread to this live in Facebook. That would be good because that will fill that area up then. And Kevin wants to get to 200. So also tell us what you loved about the session, and we'd love you to share your success stories. Now we've got Geraldine here, and I know Geraldine's in here, and she put this little post up, the community feature, getting better and better, my membership, and you know, she put really lovely post. So we'd like to see that on the Zenler community as well. We'd like to see it in here. So if you guys are enjoying it, start adding them in here. I'm going to add the post in here already, so you can start off. So there's going to be posts going in on this sort of thing. So I'm going to do it. I'll do it for you now. You can see it. It's all happening live. So let me put it in here and do the first one. There will be more, but I just want to do this now. So I'm going to add a title there. I've got a post here, and I'm going to post that in there and click post. So that'll be post your amazing gifts. So under this one, what you're going to do is you're going to go and grab your little amazing GIF. So I'll put this one, I'll start the process and there. So you can put them under there. So we've got other ones going in there, how the create an impactful CTA. So I'll start filling up the top and you can just add to those threads down there, okay? hopefully that's clear going forwards. All right, guys. So that is pretty much it. As usual, I'm going to ask you to give us a Trustpilot review. So if Kevin could put the link in the group, or we'll probably put it into the community actually. So if you guys haven't done it already and you're loving the way community's moving and these things, we love reviews. I know a lot of you have done quite a few reviews already, but we love them. So any of you guys that haven't given us a review but are loving what we're trying to do here, which is to help you with your business to be successful, right? It's not about just about the platform, trying to keep you as members. We're not doing that. We're trying to show you everything you can do so you can succeed. That's what we try and do with the education. It's the main reason that we're here for you. So giving us a review would be super, super cool. And that is it. Okay, Kevin. Is Kevin fallen asleep? I
No, I'm
probably
still
killed
here.
him off.
I'm just doing it so people can come on camera if they want,
Yeah.
because it's all locked off. So I'm just unlocking that if they want to come on and say anything. Just give me 1 second. You missed my
Remember,
messages I was sending you on the community.
we have a massive Q&A session on Friday. Huge. So you might want to try these things out, and if you have any problems with them, then bring it all to the Q&A session because we'll all be there. You know, Rakesh is going to be there 100%. I'm going to be there. Kevin's there. And hopefully Mamie will come in as well for her workshops. If not, we'll cover her.
Yep.
And we'll answer all your questions and we'll go through it with you. So that's the reason that we set up this massive Q&A, because we knew we were going to be pushed for time with some of these workshops. They're very, very intense. But we covered quite a lot today. I'm sure you guys have got headaches, and we're well over the 2 hours. We're 2 hours, 13 minutes now.
Yeah, the key is just go back on the replay to the bit that you want and just go through it and pause it and implement, pause and implement, and then you can go back if you get lost anywhere along the way. It's really easy to do it that way. So don't panic too much if you didn't keep up.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic session,
There's a few people
Geraldine.
there's a few people like Ellie and Pauline said they might not be able to make it. Look, let's start using the community, right? So, guys, if you can't show up or you want a question answered on any of the sessions, just write that session number down, and we'll make sure it's answered. You know, whether we might even upload a video. Let's start trying to just use the Zenler community to post this for after help, care help. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gentle transition in moving everybody into a Zenler community. And I think probably part of what we'll be doing there is be putting stuff in there that doesn't go on the Facebook community. So there'll be little extra things going on that makes it quite a decent place to be. So it's good for you to get in the habit of it. And you can't expect your users to use your community if you're not using the community, right? You've got to understand it. So and the best way is just go in and have a play around. And with the Zenler one at the moment, because there's only a few of us in there, I think there's only like 20 or something of us in there right now. There's not a huge amount. You can go in there and do what you like, pretty much, within reason. Okay, don't do what you like, but within reason, do what you like. Um,
You can play.
because it's a good place to go and play for now, right? And we're in there with you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good, and we can set up these live chats as well. So it's we can really personally help you instead of like jumping across the messenger and these sort of things. We can go in there, solve a problem. If it's a longer problem, we can solve it inside there, and then we can close the chat down afterwards. And it means it's very, very it's much easier for us to use. It's much easier for us to solve your problems quicker. So it's perfect. It's perfect. Get in there, start using it, guys. Start using this.
Yeah, there's not enough people in there being active in there. And there's messages in there, there's posts that people have put up. So, make sure that you've got your app on your phone. You can see the notifications coming in from the app, the Zenler app I'm talking about, so that you don't miss it, because this is things that you're going to have to tell your students to do. you're going to have to tell them to make sure they download the app, to make sure that they're logged in, to make sure that they've got their notifications on and all of that. Because if you're posting in your community and nobody's answering, then you're going to be a little bit, we need you to do this, right?
Yeah.
So just get used to it.
I've set up a live chat, Kevin, with Geraldine. Geraldine, who's on here live with us, and she's active, and you see she's doing a little smiley face. Type something
Yeah.
in there, Geraldine. Let everyone see it all come up. There, Geraldine's typing. You can see she's typing down there. She's putting something in there and popping it, and it should pop up in a second. Hopefully, it's not too rude. Never, you never do that. Oh, there you go. Look, I'm loving the community feature. So perfect. So there you go. You can see it's all working in there. So it's good. You can have fun with this stuff as well, guys. You can try this with your own crowd and see. Brilliant. Okay, that's me done.
100%. Right. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up. Um, I'm pleased that you've all managed to hang on to the end. So thank you for hanging around for us. This sort of concludes the official training for the workshop. So all of the replays are going to be in by, let's say, tomorrow morning UK time, for you to be able to go in, look at the resources, all of those things. Somebody's mentioned, I think it was Scott Carr, that said he couldn't get onto the replay. I don't know if you're still here, Scott. Um, but if you've signed up to the funnel, you'll have access to the replay page. But I think what we'll do is probably send out an extra email just to make sure everyone's got the link to it. I don't want to put it on the Facebook group. That defeats the whole object of it. So we'll send the link out in an email to anyone registered in the funnel, and you should get the direct link there. The same as with the community, which is there anyway, but a lot of you, I think, are not quite finding it that yet. So let's try a different way of getting it over to you. We've
Yeah.
obviously got Q&A on Friday. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into, we're going to go back over the 11 sessions and pick out a couple of key points from each one, just in case you missed it. So look out for those. The workshop's not going anywhere. It's going to be sat there on replay. I think on the back of this, we may do a couple of bonus sessions. I think definitely one on after yesterday, after Chip Monday's session. We're definitely going to do a keyword, key phrase session. I know David's done one in the marketing workshop, but I want to do it live with people. So, and pre-warn you, it's just going to be one session, right? It's not going to be a whole workshop, or anything. It's just going to be one session. And we're going to go on. I'll pre-tell you what to go and do and download and get access to. And we're going to do it there and then walk away with your whole bank of key phrases and knowing what you're targeting. Because when you've got that in a list, a Google Doc or something like that, life becomes so much easier, right? And it will help you with videos, with public communities, with blog posts, with sales pages, with opt-in, everything it will help you with. And you've only got to do it once every, I say 3 months, but then I'm a little bit finicky over it. Most people, it's 6 months. The reality is it's normally 12 to 18 months, because people do it and then they don't want to do it again, even though it's pretty easy. So that'll be one of them. And I think there was another one that we talked about, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Um, but yeah, so there'll be a couple of follow-up ones on this, because we're preparing something else at the moment, David and I, for our next sort of workshop thing, but we're not quite ready. So there's going to be a couple of weeks break for sure, before the next workshop gets even talked about, I think. So we might do a couple of little just pop-up ones, one-off sessions for you, and it might just be
Yeah,
me.
we have a day with Zenler on the last Friday of the month as well. So we're changing that a little bit. Kevin's going to be on as well. So and we're going to do it on. We're basically recapping all of the features, the new releases and things that come out. So it's a really good opportunity. Lots of people miss the features that we bring out, so we want to go back over them in a little bit more detail, and you can ask questions when we're doing it as well.
Geraldine, can you report that to support, please? Support@zenler.com. If the audio recording crashed in the app, but it works on the desktop, it might be something they need to update on the app version. Please make sure you've got the latest version of the app as well, because they are doing updates to it. So make sure you've got the latest version first, and then go and it's fantastic that somebody's messaged you and you've picked it up. So yeah, that's really, really good.
Yeah, I would like guys, communities come in. If there's any bugs, any issues, you have to send them to support, right? Because they need to know about it. So shout about it. We don't mind if you put it in the chat here. It's good. It's good for us. But you want to be sending it to them as well, so it gets reported as a ticket. So Angela, definitely send it to them, and anyone else that's using it has had problems.
Yeah. I mean, they're all over things like this at the moment because we've had quite a few updates go in. You know, the thing with the video uploading into the community, it's been working, not working, working. And we've had a few little ups and downs with it, but it's not, there's a lot goes on behind the scenes when you're doing something that big to so many accounts. So it's not always a quick fix. But of course, any update that we do on the platform, if it's related into the app, it's got to be updated on the app as well, which is completely different, right? So it's not as easy as just pushing it out. And I've run an app before, and I tell you, it's a nightmare, especially dealing with Apple and all of that. It's just it's a headache. So I don't
Yeah, it takes a
envy.
long time for them to get round to it, doesn't it, to actually push it through. So they
Yeah.
they'll push that fix through, and then it's really a matter of waiting, and you don't know when it's going to pop up and be live. And then of course there's the case that if you're not paying attention to your app updates in here and you don't update it and you're trying something, it could be a version that's before that as well.
And one of the other things with apps is as well, and as a last resort, if you're having issues, is delete the app and re-download the app, re-download a fresh version, not just update it. Sometimes, especially I found on Android, that can work. Not all of the time, but it has worked for me before. So just try that as well, because that's a quicker. If that fixes it, that's quicker than going through support, right?
Are you talking about Teams, are you, Kevin?
I don't ever talk about Teams. I hate Teams with a passion. Um, I have to verify my verification once I've verified myself. I just hate the thing. I get fed up with typing my email and my stuff in it. It's like,
I think I verified you once.
oh,
She
I
asked me.
just don't know what's going on with it. How corporations operate with that system, I have no idea because it's the worst thing I've ever come across. I'd rather use a carrier pigeon, honestly, more effective. That's why corporations aren't operating. You're absolutely right, Scott. Um, but there we go. For another story. So anyway, thank you all for coming along to the workshop. It's been an absolute blast. David and I thoroughly enjoy it, especially when you get involved and you do stuff. It makes it all well worthwhile for us as instructors and educators. So it's been absolutely brilliant being able to deliver this for you. We're not done. We are around Friday. Take the advantage of Friday to look to the future. So you've got Rakesh there, right? Rakesh isn't listening right now because he doesn't really listen to me that much on these. So I'll tell you quietly without him listening, go and hammer Rakesh for what features he's planning, right, on Friday, because he'll be there. And if you push him a little bit, he might just let you know what's in the works, right? But you didn't hear that from me. So, but take advantage of it because it might be something that you're going, "Oh, I'd really like to be able to do that, or I really want to do that, or whatever. And you've not asked the question to the right person. And he might be in his planning mind going, "Oh, I'm thinking about doing that." And he hasn't even mentioned it to us. And sometimes that happens, right? So take advantage of him being there because he doesn't come on live as much these days. So it's a good chance to do that. And if you've got any other questions around the community, anything that you want to ask, whether you are already got a community up and running, whether you've got bugs going on, whether anything like that, do it on Friday. Um, and yeah, we are going to recap a bit of Friday, but we're not going to spend an hour and a half recapping. It'll probably be like half an hour, 40 minutes max. Um, and then we'll get straight into getting in the conversations with you all. All right. So, David, thanks again. Monster of a session. Really, really good. We're going on to session number. That's the end of session number. Yeah. No, one less. And we're going on to session
Wait a minute,
number.
you got 8 there. 9, 10, 11, 12, 4,
We're going on to session number 12.
12.
So
Why
we
just do that?
we might get it right for Friday anyway. Listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a nice play. Get your gifts into the community. When you see that post is in there, he's counted his digest. No, my digestives are a big fat zero because I've ate them all. Along with me cherry bakewell slices, they've gone as well. Anyway, thanks everyone. See you Friday.